We have new information coming out of Japan shortly after the Goodwood Festival of Speed in the UK, where Lexus and Toyota showed, well, we're assuming Lexus, but Toyota definitely showed GT3 and a road-going version of this vehicle that they've been testing on multiple racetracks around the world for many years at this point. What is Japan saying about it? We're going to get to the meat of this. If you guys enjoy updates about the LFA2, as some are calling it, or the LFR, or the GR-GT3, whatever Toyota and Lexus, if Lexus gets a variant of it, whatever they decide to call it, if you enjoy it, if you're excited about it, hit that like button. I would appreciate it massively. Here the two were side by side at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and we have scans of this vehicle, and I want to get to your impressions on it as we look at it. I mean, we already had a non-camouflaged version when this was revealed. This was January, I think, of 2021. I think it's been that long since the concept came out at the Tokyo Auto Salon back then. Now, they're taking their own impressions and putting it on here. We don't know exactly how similar the vehicle will look to this. We did get trademarks on the design, or should I say patented images on the design a while back. But this one is showing a light bar, quad tip exhaust. At least they're doing the exhaust right. If you look at something like the LC500, the exhaust, they got the sound right. That's the most important thing, but it doesn't look good. This looks good, but it won't sound like the LC500. Yes, it's a V8. They're saying twin turbo V8, 500 horsepower is where the GT3 version is. Okay, and then I'll talk more about the powertrain as we go. Here's the other images of it, and this is quite a strong vertical air piece here. I'm assuming it's mainly for aerodynamics or maybe breathability for the engine. Not quite sure. All right, but it looks good. Again, we don't know exactly when this is coming out. However, this scan from Best Car is saying that this car is going to launch by the end of this year as a GT3 car, not available for sale. It'll just be for race car because they need to retire the RCF and get this car racing for either Lexus, or Lexus could just disband their racing program altogether, which would be crazy. But they have no F cars. So unless this is badged as a Lexus, LFR, or whatever, Lexus racing is essentially dead, which is bonkers to me. So that's why I can't imagine that this car is just a Toyota with a GR badge on it and not sold as a Lexus. Could Toyota sell it as a Toyota or a GR product as well as a Lexus? That's what I'm thinking they're going to do, but Best Car doesn't confirm or deny what this vehicle is going to be sold as. They are struggling apparently to meet emissions regulations with this vehicle, and it has been delayed. That's why the GT3 racing version is coming out this year. And then the launch of the retail version, the consumer version, is not coming till who knows when. And according to them, they're struggling to meet emission standards with this twin turbo V8, even though it's a hybrid. Like, they're saying 700 horsepower from the engine alone. You add electrification, they're saying 900 horsepower. So it's quite lofty, the numbers are put in here. If they can't meet emissions regulations, they might have to detune the engine so it's not pushing 700. Maybe it hits 550 or something, and that would be crazy. Emissions regulations are terrible, so awful. These are such small volume cars that mean absolutely nothing for emissions. Zero, zilch. And yet all the fun is being taken out of them. Toyota is doing everything they can to launch this vehicle to comply with emission standards, but apparently it's setting them back. Not in the United States, because emission penalties just got thrown out the window, but everywhere else, especially in the UK, and who knows if this vehicle would be sold in China, because in China, they would have this vehicle. They said that this is still in progress. This is the true successor to the LFA. which is a technologically breaking vehicle in terms of batteries, solid state batteries, new generations of motors that we've never seen before. So in terms of performance, it's going to be crazy. But as a BEV, the technology is still not there for it to be a race car, obviously. And GT3 is a very hot and growing segment. So this vehicle is so important for Lexus, whatever it is, the GR GT3, if it's called that, or the Lexus LFR. That's about all that they had to say about it. It's delayed. Its racing version is launching this year. Huge horsepower numbers from the twin turbo V8 and the hybrid variant of it. Emissions regulations are setting it back. But I thought the scans are pretty cool. I felt like sharing that. And I'm still excited for this vehicle. But yeah, it's been too long. They unveiled the design in 2021, and we're not going to see it here in 2025. It's going to be pushed to 2026, maybe later. Who knows? They talk about how other GT3 models got such low volumes of production versions. So, for example, they mentioned McLaren or Aston Martin had a GT3 racing car, but they only had a handful of production variants. That's not going to be the case here. They're saying this is going to be a catalog model for Toyota or Lexus, meaning you'll be able to buy it. You can place special orders. It's not going to be like the LFA that was essentially, they had 200 units? 200 units. This is going to be way higher than 200 units from start of production to end of production. Think maybe tens of thousands is my guess. So anyways, we don't have any idea on pricing, no idea on launch, no idea on actual specifics. We're still left, and we're going to be waiting for some time, I think, at this point. But, I will be going to Japan for the Japan Mobility Show in late October. And if there's a sniff or any announcement of this vehicle, not the one you see on the screen, but the GR GT3 Lexus LFR, there's any announcement of it, I will break it to you here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe for all the future updates on this vehicle. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.
New flagship sports road car from the Toyota Motor Corporation. But as you can see, it's under a livery as well, where we're not going to fully see it. And it's being followed by the GT racing concept. Behind that, you see the version that will become the racing machine in GT concept. How this is all actually going to come out now, we have a listen, as you said, Bruce. Have a listen, because we don't know what the engines in these are yet. What do you reckon?
Well, I think it's probably got 8 cylinders going in a V, which I very much approve of. But yeah, which is the race version? I'll let you guess. It's the one on the right. But the world of GT3, which is the secondary class in the World Endurance Championship, as well as having its own races all around the world in various championships, is absolutely exploding in terms of numbers all around the planet. And very much a Toyota would be welcome at this level, whether it's a Toyota, Gazoo Racing, or even a Lexus. Of course, the luxury arm as well. We don't know how it's going to be badged, what the engine is, so you're enjoying the same as we are, our first ever sighting of this car. It's done loads of testing, and Ben was talking about it being on the Nürburgring Nordschleife, 25 kilometers of magical up and down, 170 plus corners in the Eiffel Forest of Germany. A lot of testing goes on over there, and from what we're hearing, it's not been a slouch.
Kazuki Nakajima's in one of these, man who raced for Williams from 2007 to 2009, a winner of the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So Kazuki's in the GT Road version, there you are, in that one. And the race version, that is being driven by Daisuke Toyoda, who's a gentleman driver, has been competing in the Super Taikyu Series since 2018. And he competes for the, he drives a GR.